Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm Olivia Cella, and today is gonna be sort of a weird video for me to film. I've never really shot a video where I sit down and just talk to the camera, so this is gonna be really weird for me, especially if you know me, or you're my friend, or you go to school. This is just a lot of information about my life that I'm kind of uncomfortable sharing, but I just think that it's interesting and it might help you guys. And so this video is just sort of gonna be an update on my life and also like a new direction that I want to take my YouTube channel in. But I'm still gonna have, singing and makeup and all that stuff, but I just want to incorporate this part of my life in as well, since it is a big part of my life now. So this is kind of weird for me, just talking to a camera about my life, since I've never really opened up to you guys before. But it's a new year. Today is actually January 1st, so yeah, new year, new me. I don't really know how to start this, but it's probably gonna make no sense when this video starts, but I promise you it will get to a point. By the end, you'll start seeing what I'm talking about, but it's mostly just about my health and personal things that have been happening to me and how I want to take my YouTube channel in more of a direction incorporating like food and health and things like that. Also, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. I made a list of things that I want to say so I don't forget anything. I'm just gonna jump right in. So about 5-6 years ago, I was diagnosed with mono, which is an infectious illness. And for about 4 months I had it and we didn't really know because I was so young and I was ice skating and I was really hyper. And the symptoms of this virus is it just makes you really tired and you can have like an inflamed spleen and crazy things like that. And for me, the only symptoms that were occurring was back pain and fatigue. We also thought that the back pain that I was having could be from my ice skating, since I used to ice skate 3 times a week. And we thought that maybe it was because of that, so we started going to a chiropractor. But the chiropractor wasn't really helping. Like, it did overall help my alignment and I felt a lot better, but the soreness was still there, which kind of scared us, so we went and got a blood test. The blood test results came back that I had Epstein-Barr/mono, and with mono, it never really gets out of your system. It's in your system forever. It will show up in all blood tests that you have mono, even though the symptoms will subside. So after I got diagnosed, I took it easy from school. I took a week off, I slept, I ate really healthy, I relaxed, was just taking it really easy on myself for a month or two, and now I'm 100% fine and don't have any mono symptoms at all. After I recovered from mono, I did have reoccurring back pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain, and my ankle pain, which was really bad, was actually from ice skating, and I had to quit ice skating due to a foot injury. And after I quit, I still had foot pain and ankle pain and knee pain and hip pain and back pain. And the reason I had all this pain in my joints is because the ankles are like the foundation of your body, and if you injure that, it will affect your knees, which affects your hips, which affects your back. So it's just kind of domino effect, and my whole body just started hurting. So that was another reason why I quit ice skating as well, because I was just too hard on my body ice skating too many days a week, and I just didn't really want something like that was gonna hurt me in the long run. From when I was 12 till now, my pain would come and go, and then this summer I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. In December 2016, I started feeling really tired, my back pain was worse, I had just so much pain and I was just really tired, and my eyes would water all the time, and my hair was falling out, and I had a rash on my chest, and my knees were swollen with water, and I had like rashes all over my legs and really dry skin. We thought my dry skin was eczema since my sister had eczema, but then the eczema lotions weren't working for me. We thought my hair was falling out because I was brushing my hair too hard, and we thought my eyes were watering because I had allergies. So I started taking allergy medicine because we thought I had allergies, but I didn't, so it didn't work at all. And as time went on, my knee pain, my hip pain, my back pain became way less tolerant. I was just in a lot of pain all the time. We started going to my chiropractor more frequently, and that was helping me, but I still had pain and I was tired and I felt like something was off, and I kept saying to my mom, something's wrong, I don't feel okay, but we just, it sounds bad, but we were just kind of ignoring what was going on, because I would have good days and bad days. Like, I'd be really, really good for like a week, like no pain, no nothing, and then I'd be really, really bad for like a day or a week or a couple of days. And I was kind of hiding it as well. Like, I didn't tell any of my friends because I didn't want to seem like a hypochondriac. Like, I didn't want to say, oh my god, I'm in so much pain, and then there be nothing wrong with me. But meanwhile, there was. It was, I probably should have said something earlier, but it was bad, but not like I didn't think it was bad, if that makes sense. As time went on, my pain was coming and going in waves, but it would progressively grow worse and worse. Like, I would have worse pain periods of time, and I would have like shorter periods of being okay. Then it started affecting my mental health. Like, I would get really tired and really moody and really cranky, and I was just mean all the time, like throughout the month of like 2017, January, February, March. Like, I was just not myself. I didn't really tell anyone about my pain. Literally nobody knew that any of this was going on except for my mom, because I didn't want to scare anyone saying, yeah, I go to a chiropractor every single day and I take Advil every single day and my knees are constantly in pain and when I walk my back hurts. I didn't want to kind of tell people that because I was wearing orthopedics at the time, and that was a big enough thing for me to do, was wear orthopedics, because it was kind of embarrassing. Like, I felt like a grandma. And I didn't really tell anyone because I was embarrassed that I was 15 years old and had this much pain and I was seeing a chiropractor. It was just all really weird for me. This summer is where it got really bad. In the month of May, I started seeing my symptoms get progressively worse. Like, my back was hurting me more, my knees were killing me, insane, my eyes were watering like crazy, and my hair was falling out a lot more than it ever did before. But I just kind of blew it off. I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life in the month of May as well, so everything was just kind of ticking me off and I was just not in a good place. Then June came along and I went to California alone for the summer, but before I went to California, I actually got a blood test. And while I was in California, we got the results back, but my mom didn't tell me until I came back from California because she didn't want to scare me. So when I was out in California, I got this huge red rash all across my chest. I'll put pictures here. And that same rash I got earlier in the year on my legs. I used to get it all the time in the wintertime and I didn't know what it was. We thought it was eczema, but it was actually just a symptom of my autoimmune. My mom didn't want to scare me, so she told me, oh, like, that's sun poisoning, like, you're in the sun too much. But meanwhile, I was wearing sunscreen and all that, but I obviously believed her because I had no idea I had autoimmune. I thought it actually was a like sun rash. I also noticed that my knees were huge and swollen. After I came back from California, I came home for a week, and then my mom and I and my sister, all three, went out to California to move my sister into college and to spend more time out there again. After I got my blood test results back, we went to a specialist, and the specialist was a rheumatoid arthritis autoimmune specialist. Autoimmune is where your body is attacking itself, and my body was attacking my joints, along with other things, causing high amounts of inflammation. So in my blood test, it came back that I had high levels of ANA, and what ANA is, it's like the inflammation tracker of your body. And I had very high ANA. A normal person is at 80 for their ANA, and I was at 180. Inflammation is very damaging to your body because it can prevent your body from performing its normal bodily functions. It can affect your organs, your joints, your brain. So after finding out that I had high levels of inflammation, it made a lot of sense to why my joints were hurting, my hair was falling out, everything was just falling into place. And it made sense to why I was feeling tired all the time and why I was moody all the time. Autoimmune is also incurable. You can't cure it, but you can prevent flare-ups. So the rash on my chest that I got in California for the first time was a flare-up because I was just going all the time in California and I was never resting and I was just doing something every single day because it was like a vacation for me. So since I was working my body way too much, that's why the rash came out, and that's why my knees were the most swollen they've ever been. The only thing I do now to prevent myself from having a flare-up is to make sure that I don't overwork myself and that I stay on a low inflammation diet. I am on the paleo diet to prevent myself from having flare-ups because when I was at the doctor, they did suggest that I either get chemotherapy or start taking medication. And that was really scary. The minute they said that to me, chemotherapy or medication, we freaked out. I started crying in the car, and after my doctor's appointment, we conveniently went to my chiropractor just to get adjusted before we go home and figure out what the heck we were going to do about my situation. When we were at the chiropractor, my chiropractor's also a nutritionist, and when we were there, he looked at my blood test results and he was just like, go paleo. And I was like, paleo what? Like, what's that? And explained to me that paleo is a low inflammation diet, so I'm not allowed to have caffeine, sugar, soy, grains, or dairy. And I eliminated all the foods out of my diet literally that day after he told me what paleo was. And I was determined to heal my body without chemotherapy or without medication because I don't want any of those crazy side effects, and I don't want something that harsh, like chemotherapy chemicals in my body. But before I get too much into paleo, I want to talk about why I got autoimmune. Autoimmune is a genetic thing, but in my family, autoimmune does not run genetically. But one thing that doctors don't tell you is that autoimmune can come from mono. And since I had mono, I never really healed from mono, even though that I thought I did. Mono just disrupted my immune system until it manifested itself into autoimmune. So technically, between the time I was 12 to the time I was 16, I had autoimmune and didn't really know it because it took, time to manifest itself and time for the symptoms to become prevalent. So here's the point right here of the entire video of why I am making this video. It is because I went paleo. And like I said before, paleo is where you're cutting out all grains, so I'm not allowed to have any breads, pastas, quinoa, rice, any grains, oats, nothing like that. No sugar, which is really hard because high fructose corn syrup and sugar is in literally everything. After going on this diet and having to read the actual food labels, I'm kind of disgusted with the foods that I used to eat. Not saying I was a bad eater, I was actually a really good eater before I went paleo. I ate super healthy, but now I'm eating even more healthy since I'm cutting out all the inflammatory foods. On top of not being able to have grains and sugar, I can't have soy, and I can't have dairy. And I also can't have caffeine, which was really hard for me because I had coffee actually every single day before school. But paleo is also referred to as the caveman diet because you are eating foods that your body genetically is supposed to be eating. With paleo, humans aren't supposed to be eating grains. In the literal food pyramid that they teach you in school, it says that we need grains, oats, barley, wheat, rye. It says we need that stuff, and it says we need dairy and sugar. It's all on the food pyramid. But we don't need any of that to live. I haven't had sugar, grains, dairy, soy in like 7 months, and I'm living, and I'm so much more healthier than I was now, and all my symptoms of autoimmune are gone. It's kind of sick how the food industry says that we need these things, meanwhile they're not good for our body. It's also proven that grains and sugar is just so bad for you. Sugar literally causes cancer, but I didn't know any of that before. When I became paleo, I read about why I couldn't eat these foods because I was curious. I was like, what's not eating bread gonna do for me? What's not eating dairy gonna do for me? Is this really gonna work? And yes, it is. When you're eating the foods that your body can actually digest and absorb, you just you are what you eat, and I feel so much better. Like, I probably sound like a broken record just saying the same thing over and over and over again, and I don't want to be like that stereotypical vegan girl that says, go vegan, save the animals. Like, I'm not doing that at all. I'm just sharing my story, so don't say anything weird in the comments. But after becoming paleo, I literally felt better within a week. Within a week, all my symptoms were gone. My rash 100% went away. I did have scarring from the rash. Everything was gone, and I felt so much better. My swelling in my knees was gone. My pain was literally like minuscule. I just felt so much better after just a week of eating paleo. I'm actually very pro holistic healing. Like, if you can find a natural way to heal things without getting antibiotics or seeing a doctor, like, I'm all for it. But if you need to go to a doctor for certain things, then yeah, do that. But there's so many natural ways to heal things. And also, the reason I went paleo is not because I was allergic to those foods, or those foods specifically were causing me to have autoimmune. It wasn't the foods, it was just a combination of the mono and the lifestyle choices that I was making, which, gave me autoimmune. So if I wanted to continue to eat these foods, then I would have to just be taking medication. Thankfully, we caught my autoimmune at like a tipping point. If it was any higher, I probably wouldn't have been able to reverse it with diet, but I was able to catch it in time and reverse it with diet. Also, to support me, my mom went paleo as well, and if you ever want to lose weight, I highly suggest the paleo diet because you're cutting out basically all carbs and sugar and dairy, which makes you bloat. So my mom lost so much weight. I lost weight too because in California I started going to the gym every single day after we got diagnosed and after I went paleo. I went to the gym every single day, and that also helped my joints, keeping them active. And my mom lost weight, I lost weight, it was great, and we just felt so much better. On top of being paleo, I also take a bunch of supplements. Like, I have a huge pill organizer that's like this big and like has all the weeks that I put in, and I take a bunch of supplements. I'm just gonna read the list off my phone. Calcium, zinc, magnesium, potassium, fish oil, collagen, reishi mushroom extracts, biotin, and the cell food oxygen drops. And I also take Curamed, which is a high dosage of curcumin, which is found in turmeric. It's like the root of turmeric, so it's really strong. And turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory, since I don't take Advil anymore, because Advil actually builds up in your liver and is really, really bad for you if something is building up in your liver. And I wanted to go the all-natural way of healing myself. So I take these supplements every night along with being paleo. It seems like a lot, but it's worth it. I don't have pain. I'd rather take a million supplements than have pain and be taking medication. A lot of people always condone me and say, oh my gosh, you must have such good self-control for being able to go paleo, not have sugar and grains, and not, you know, reach for a donut or like crave chocolate and ice cream. It just wasn't that hard for me. It wasn't at all, because there's so many different ways that you can find food that you can eat. Like thrivemarket.com has so many paleo foods and paleo snacks, like paleo chips, which I didn't even know could exist if I can't have grains, and paleo ice cream and paleo chocolate and all this specialized healthy like junk food almost. And in another video I will talk about all my favorite brands that are paleo. So I'll save that all for another video. What I've learned is just that you literally are what you eat. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm just like preaching like, oh my gosh, go paleo, like it's the best thing for you, but it literally is the best thing for you. You're eating what your body can actually digest. It's just crazy to me that I see people at lunch in school open up a bag of Cheetos and like eat Cheetos and just mindlessly can eat that. And like I watch my friends eat that and I'm just like, oh, like how can you eat that and like think that's okay? And like I'll have friends say to me like, oh my god, I haven't eaten anything all day except for a bag of Cheetos. And I'm like, that's not good. Like they think they're bragging. It's better for you to eat 3 meals a day than just a bag of Cheetos. Like people always count their calories and like eat really small, but it's just crazy to me that people don't know what's in the foods that they're eating. They think because it's being sold to them that it's okay. I'm gonna save this all for another video. After getting diagnosed with autoimmune and becoming paleo, all I did was go online and read literally every single day, like new articles about health and paleo and autoimmune, and mostly about health because I decided with my future, like in college I want to study naturopathic science and naturopathic medicine or naturopathic nutrition. Naturopathic is basically like the natural way of healing yourself, like the homeopathic way. But that's also for another video. So yeah, that's what's recently been happening in my life. A lot of people didn't really know that I have autoimmune because I was able to heal it really, really quickly, and because I didn't really tell anyone about my pain beforehand. So in the next videos that I'm going to be posting, it's going to be about the foods that I eat and like my favorite substitutions, like my favorite substitution for bread that's paleo, my favorite ice cream, all that kind of stuff substitution, and going more in depth with the supplements that I take and why they work and all that stuff. And I'll also create videos like 3 paleo breakfast ideas and paleo lunches and paleo dinners and paleo snacks and desserts, because I make a lot of desserts. Like I make paleo pumpkin pie and cookies all the time. I always make paleo cookies. And it's nice because I don't feel guilty about making them because they have no sugar in them. So I'm eating them and I'm like, this is great. Like I'm literally eating a delicious dessert and it has no sugar and no dairy and no grains, and it's pretty amazing. So if you guys are excited for that or you find it's interesting, you know, give this video a like, subscribe, because I'm going to be posting a lot more. If you have any questions about all this stuff, just leave it in the comments below and I will answer all of your questions, or they'll be answered in my upcoming videos that I make about this topic. Now that it's the end of the video, I'm realizing this wasn't that awkward talking to the camera. Hopefully I'm not like, I don't know, this is just, oh, I'm kidding, this was so weird to make. Like, I'm actually cringing inside, and I'm cringing the thought of having to edit this video and watch myself. I promise you guys, as time goes on, I'll get better at doing this, and it won't be as awkward, and hopefully it can be funny and actually entertaining. Oh yeah, also another update on my life. I got a lot of ear piercings, which, you know, my mom obviously yelled at me for because I did these 3 myself, and I got these 2 done without her knowledge. Yeah, I actually don't know how the piercing place let me get my ears pierced underage. My mom was mad, but then said that they were actually cute and she likes them, so that's good. Follow me on all my social medias. Everything will be linked below, and if you follow my social medias, you'll see when I'm going to be posting next. Thank you guys for watching this whole video if you did, because this was a really hard thing for me to talk about. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you next video.